Welcome back to Bitcoin Treasuries. I'm Tim Kotzman here with British and Gladiator. How are you guys doing this fine day?
I'm doing
Awesome.
good.
It's
Yeah.
11:05 p.m. and I'm here with you.
Yeah,
So,
I'm doing good, but I don't think British HODL's bullish enough. So I want to make sure let's do a couple things today. One, let's get his outlook on MicroStrategy and Bitcoin, and two, we got to get a sense of his T levels because I'm concerned for his T levels because he's not bullish enough.
Me
okay.
and your father discussed your tea levels at Michael Saylor's party. Don't you worry, little boy. It's good over here. We got to worry about yours.
My T levels are just fine, British.
In the basement. You know, the longer you stay in the basement,
I don't
the
know.
longer the tea levels go.
I don't know. There's studies that show that if you don't have a girlfriend, your T levels rise.
Is that right? Not with those Anne Frank style glasses you have over
Hey, you're wearing glasses too, buddy.
there. Not that style. You got cat's eyes glasses.
What do you guys think about DeepSeek? Is it a bunch of noise about nothing, or is it really going to drive, I continue to drive markets, I guess you'd say at this point? You guys have any thoughts on that?
So I don't even know. I saw that came out today. Like what even happened with that? I guess one of you guys could explain that.
Right.
British, over
Okay.
to
Well,
you.
let me. Yeah, this is the single most important development for U.S. Um, tech markets in a very, very long time. So what happened was China waited until President Trump took office to basically highlight how any of the sanctions that was set by the Biden administration had no impact. They basically created a model that is as good as OpenAI based on independent read. I'm not an AI expert, right? So I'm basing my thoughts on what other AI experts have said. A model that is as good as OpenAI's model for a fraction of the cost of AI of OpenAI's model. The cost of training this thing just went down from $100 million to $5 or $6 million. It went down from using 50,000 of NVIDIA's GPUs down to 2,000 GPUs. These GPUs, you can use the GPU that's in your current MacBook basically to train this thing, which wasn't the case. And they've basically rugged the entire AI industry of the United States. Now, what a lot of American propagandists will say at this point is that, yeah, but this is China, so it's controlled, it's CCP funded, et cetera, et cetera. But they've open sourced it. So you can go and have a look at all of the code. You can run this entire thing on any computer you want in the world. And they've basically demonstrated that all your sanctions can go fuck themselves because we've just out innovated the United States of America, and they've made a significant dent in doing so. Now, why, in my opinion, is this good for Bitcoin? Because the one thing that people haven't understood about Bitcoin and MSTR is that these are growth companies. Growth is what investors seek. Growth is what is missing in capital markets. And so, what this tells you is that you are no longer safe investing in American tech companies because China might be developing something that they can just launch out there and immediately rug your entire investment. So now it is no longer safe to invest in any of these growth companies. It is no longer safe to invest in Nvidia at this crazy multiple. It's no longer safe to rely on your future wealth being protected by Nvidia's GPU sales. What you need is Bitcoin. What you need is something that's safe, reliable, consistent, that is never going to let you down, and is absolutely limited in supply. And so, as this seeps through consciousness, you're going to see investors go, wait a second, we need to increase our allocation to Bitcoin, not decrease it, because this is what is going to guarantee me growth. And this is only good for Bitcoin and MSTR in the longer term.
So
So that's what's happening.
Did Nvidia go down today on this news? Do you
Couple
know?
points,
Uh,
couple dollars.
um, but yeah, I agree that I feel like the AI stuff has already taken off so much, and this is obviously going to be could potentially be bearish for it. But Bitcoin and MicroStrategy in particular, I think, is still very, very early, and that's where the most upside potential is.
Nvidia is down 17.6% as we're speaking right now.
Today?
Yeah,
No
yeah.
way.
Welcome to the real world.
I gotta see this. My computer's behind the. Oh my God, you're right. British Hodl, that's my quant right there. This guy, British Hodl, he knows everything. Nvidia dropped 17%. He knows the models why. So yeah, basically, long story short, get out of Nvidia, full port Bitcoin, maybe MSTR. That's all you gotta know.
British, what first of all, I watched the Retail Roadshow presentation by Michael Saylor this morning. Do you have any thoughts on the new perpetual preferred stock offering Strike STRK that
Yeah,
looks to be rolling out this week and coming to market,
yeah.
public markets, and probably end of the week?
Yeah, so I haven't watched that. I've been busy today, so I haven't watched that yet, but I will do. But just my initial thoughts on a dividend offering. This makes this, MSTR now a dividend paying stock, basically. If you want some preferred stock, so it's now going to get more and more institutional cap. Again, he promised creative financing at the tail end of last year, and this is creative financing. They went for the higher issue of shares. Now they can do this, and they can basically try and get as much capital from fixed income, from dividend portfolios, from growth portfolios. They added another 10K Bitcoin today, which is basically taking down the ATM to, I think, 3.5 to $4 billion left on the ATM. As soon as that's flushed out, we've now got $18 billion of converts to do. So yeah, there is a lot happening here for MSTR and the train to acquire more and more Bitcoin. And again, Tim, we spoke about this in the last conversation you and I had. The most important thing for MSTR is to remain interesting. And that word interesting is going to guide the entire year for MSTR. And this is another way to keep this stock interesting. It is now there is now a preferred stock dividend option that makes MSTR more interesting. So what's the next thing that he could do to keep this more and more interesting? And that's abruptly shift from ATM to acquire Bitcoin to convertible notes to acquire Bitcoin. And that's coming next.
The thing that caught my eye is that in addition to what I almost think of as the initial offering, which I think is 2.5 million shares at, call it $100, so that's 250 million, that they can issue a shelf registration and then sell shares at the market of these preferred shares. So does that, in essence, almost make MicroStrategy like turbocharged? Like people were complaining about the ATM, now they can complain about like 2 ATMs? Or how do you think about that?
I need to dig into that more. I can't give you a good enough answer on that yet. Like I said, I haven't dug into the presentation.
But to your point, I mean, talk about keeping something interesting, like having 2 ATMs going that through 2 public tickers.
One of the ATMs coming to an end, right? So if what you're saying is correct, then one of these ATMs within the next 2 to 4 weeks is coming to an end at the clip that they're going. Remember, he hasn't got unlimited ATM permission. Mm-hmm. What he has is the ability to sell $21 billion. As soon as that $21 billion comes to an end, he has to stop doing the ATMs, which, by the way, if you were an institutional investor trying to line up convertible bond deals, you want him to flush out the ATM, crash the share price as much as possible, and now you can get into a strike price on the convertible bonds at a much reasonable level and generate profit. So it makes complete sense, why they've gone for, an ATM offering first and then the convertible notes. I understand everybody is crying about MSTR share price, but these are people that don't understand long-term holding and also don't understand how to keep a stock interesting. You can't just keep a stock flat on volatility to keep it interesting. You have to move the volatility up and down.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I guess when they come to market with a new capital plan,